What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So as you see right here, the pound for pound king, 4-division world champion, superstar boxer, first ballot Hall of Famer, Terence Bud Crawford, is being celebrated in his city for doing what many people thought couldn't be done. A boxer coming from Omaha, Nebraska, and supporting his city, the youth, the children in his community right here, as you see. And yet, the 4-division world champion, 2-division undisputed champion, reigning WBA junior middleweight, and going for a 5th division world championship and a 3rd division undisputed title September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Allegiant Stadium, the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. As I told you guys, that's when it's going to take place, when he takes on another first ballot Hall of Famer, Mexican superstar, 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford has a record of 41 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. Canelo has a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. But for some odd reason, the unexplainable disdain and lack of support from the black community, or just the sport of boxing in general, towards Terence Crawford. It's like people want to see Terence Crawford lose. I mean, since Terence Crawford had that fight right here with Errol the True Spence Jr., and he dominated that fight, it's like he turned off the boxing fans even more, okay? Errol Spence fan base was massive. It was overshadowing Terence Crawford and his fan base. And for a while, it looked like Terence Crawford didn't want to fight. It looked like Terence Crawford was dragging his feet. It looked like Terence Crawford was the holdup. Errol Spence was the favorite. Even to me, myself, okay, I was pro Terence Crawford is not trying to make this fight. And then once I was able to find out the truth, once Terence Crawford became a network promotional free agent from legendary Hall of Fame CEO, founder of Top Rank, Bob Arum, and Terence Crawford was trying to make the fight with Errol Spence, and I was privy to the truth, right? And I let it be known. Listen, Terence Crawford wants to make the fight. I was going off of what Bob Arum says. He says Terence Crawford lost so much money for Top Rank he could build a mansion in Beverly Hills from scratch. The agenda against Terence Crawford, even myself, was blind to. Okay, and I can admit that. Me, myself, I was blind to the agenda that was being pushed against Terence Crawford, right? And the fact that Terence Crawford was not very vocal, not talking to the media, not telling his side of the story, and Terence Crawford had some contradictions in his approach with the Errol Spence fight, well, it just made it look bad on the part of Terence Crawford, right? But once the truth came out, you got to side with the truth, right? And Errol Spence, guess what he did? He made sacrifices to make sure they made the fight with Terence Crawford, because guess what? The Premier Boxing Champions founder advisor Al Heyman, PBC, better known as, they didn't want to make the fight. And Errol Spence was like, listen, the fight has to be made. Okay? And Terence Crawford was right. They wasn't trying to make the fight. So with that said, now he's daring to be great. He gets the fight with Errol Spence. He dominates the fight with Errol Spence. Unforeseen to many people in the boxing world. They didn't see that type of performance. And because of that, right, it wasn't competitive. He dominated the fight. He was the underdog he was the favorite, but the underdog in the fans. Errol Spence was the people's champion, right? And he dominated the fight, Terence Crawford did. And the hate just grew. you think it would get rectified? No, it just grew. Even myself, right, for supporting Terence Crawford, for telling y'all the truth. And now with that said, he's getting ready to attempt to fight Canelo Alvarez 2 weight classes above him from 154 to 168. Now, he only had one fight at 154, so some people are saying that, well, no, he only had one fight at 54, so he's really a 47-pounder jumping. No, he's a world champion at 54, and he's jumping up from 154 to 168, 14-pound jump to challenge Canelo Alvarez. And it seems like the agenda against Terence Crawford is just wicked, right? You have His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, who co-signs and supports Terence Crawford, and that's frowned upon. I believe that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is receiving some of the disdain that Terence Crawford gets. He's receiving some of that, right? It's like he's getting some of the backlash himself for supporting Terence Crawford, right? So with that said, I'm seeing people are saying that the fight is not confirmed, the fight is not happening, the fight is being pushed back. That's not the case. There's no announcement for the fight. People are telling me, hey man, Canelo Alvarez is pulling out the fight. Canelo don't want the fight. The date keep changing. The date is not changing, people. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, he threw that out there. Again, as I told you guys, in business, Turki Al-Sheikh was not happy with putting the fight on Friday. People are coming to me and they saying, hey, bro, why is the fight on a Friday? Well, again, like I said, major fights in the sport of boxing, if you know your history, took place during the week. Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier during the week. I believe that was a Thursday. Thomas Hearns versus Sugar Ray Leonard, Tuesday. Thomas Hearns versus Marvin Hagler, the greatest few rounds that you ever seen in boxing history. Guess what? Wednesday. Okay, yes, times have moved forward. Yes, big fights are typically on a Saturday. But guess what? The biggest fights in history that you are aware of have taken place during the week. Okay? And there's no fights bigger than Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali at that time. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. I'm talking about legendary fights that took place Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday. And most people that don't even know about the sport of boxing or just jumped into the sport of boxing, they can't tell you that. They're not aware of that, right? Because they're not historians in the sport of boxing. They're not supporters of the sport of boxing like that, right? So they don't even know this. But they'll tell you that on a Friday, why is this fight taking place on a Friday? That's a bad omen. What? What? I mean, what are we talking about? It's just like the NFL. Every game in the NFL ain't on a Sunday. It's not. Some of the best games in the NFL is on a Monday, on a Thursday. Right? Traditions change. We understand that. Super Bowl's on Super Bowl Sunday. It is what it is. The NBA Finals take place during the week. You understand? So, therefore, again, like I said, Turki Al-Sheikh was going back and forth with Allegiant Stadium because UNLV football team had a deal to have a game on that Saturday. So Turki initially said, okay, well, we'll move it to Friday. But then he changed his mind and said, you know what? I really don't want it on a Friday. It's a big fight. I prefer it to be on a Saturday. And so he was trying to leverage his business. It's business one-on-one with Allegiant Stadium. And from what I'm being told, Allegiant Stadium has decided and UNLV has decided to change the date. So Canelo versus Terence Crawford will be on September 13th in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. Okay? Period. But why are people so quick to downplay the fight? You got Bernard Hopkins talking about if Terence Crawford values his life, he'll fight. It'll be a boring fight. Terence Crawford is a money grab. As if he didn't jump 15 pounds himself. We've seen Tommy Hearns do it. Historically, it has been done in the past. It has been done. But look what Terence Crawford is receiving from the University of Nebraska. Look what he's receiving in the meantime. Let's talk about these things, man. What he's doing for his community. That's huge for the community, man. That's huge. He's being honored. He's being remembered. He's being shrined in his city, in his community. And in the sport of boxing, all he's trying to do is be great. We got to support that instead of knocking it, people. But no, Hopkins talking about it'll be boring. When you seen Terence Crawford in a boring fight ever? Make this make sense, people. Make it make sense. I don't get the disdain, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. Dude don't even talk that much. Man, let's get behind this dude and support him, especially from his community. And especially if you're a fan of the sport of boxing. You should be applauding what he's attempting to do. Period. And look what he's doing in his community. That should be applauded. Salute. And that's all I got for y'all, man. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone, man. Peace.